There are all kinds of animals that can't walk backwards. But you'd be hard-pressed to find one that moves through life quite as gracefully as the kangaroo. That is, of course, except when they're trying to go in reverse. Since these iconic Australian animals can only travel forward, they have to hop with their 2 feet together in the same direction, or risk losing their balance and falling over. But why is it that they're unable to walk backwards? As it turns out, their unique anatomy and physiology make it literally impossible for them to do so. And now scientists may have discovered why. Hi, I'm here, and this is our channel. Kangaroos can't walk backwards because they only have one working pair of legs. Now that sounds pretty ridiculous. I mean, if you look at a kangaroo, it's pretty clear that they have 4 legs. But from an evolutionary standpoint, they only really use 2 of them. You see, each kangaroo leg works kind of like a human leg in that it's made up of multiple separate bones. The upper section consists of a thigh bone, a shin bone, and a foot bone. And just like us, these bones are connected by joints that allow movement in one direction only. So if we take a closer look at a kangaroo's leg, we'll notice that the thigh bone sits inside the body and connects to the foot bone via the knee joint, which bends the way a human knee does. The only difference is that since kangaroos spend most of their time hopping, their knees are permanently bent and fused in a way that makes walking backwards literally impossible. This is because the front and back of their knee joints are completely smooth and flat, which allows for smooth, stable movement while hopping. But it also means that they can't bend their knees backwards. If they tried to do so, the bones would just slip right out of place. And that's not even taking into account their tails, which are long and thin and would just get in the way if they tried to walk backwards. Not to mention their back legs are shorter than their front legs, making it even more difficult to move in reverse. But wouldn't it be easier for them to just hop backwards by moving their legs in opposite directions? Well, yes, it would. But that, too, is impossible due to the way their bodies are structured. You see, the muscles that control their legs are attached to their spine in such a way that they can only pull the body forward. So if one of their legs were to move backwards, the other leg would be pulled forwards, which could potentially cause serious injury. And that is not to mention the fact that their center of gravity sits further back on their bodies than most animals. This makes it incredibly difficult for them to balance themselves on their 2 outside legs, let alone move backwards. In fact, the only time you'll ever see a kangaroo attempt to walk backwards is when they first learning how to hop or when they trying to escape a predator. And even then, they'll only do it for very short distances before returning to their preferred mode of forward hopping. So, while it might seem like a simple enough concept to grasp, walking backwards is something that these animals simply can't do. But why? Why did evolution give them such a huge disadvantage? After all, being able to walk backwards would not only make them better at escaping predators, it would help them in many other situations too. Well, the reason turns out that there are advantages to only being able to move forwards as well. For example, since kangaroos spend most of their time grazing on low vegetation, they don't need to be able to walk backwards. In fact, it might even be a benefit since they wouldn't have to worry about tripping over their own feet while they're eating. Additionally, by moving forward, they're always moving towards new sources of food and away from potential sources of danger, which helps keep them safe. Also, their ability to move quickly in one direction makes them less likely to be injured by obstacles in their path. If they were walking backwards, they'd probably be more prone to tripping and stumbling, which could lead to broken bones and other injuries. Ultimately, kangaroos are perfectly adapted to their environment, and there is no reason for them to evolve the ability to walk backwards unless, of course, they really wanted to. One thing's for sure, though. If they could walk backwards, they'd probably do it just for the memes. So what should we talk about next? Please let us know in the comments down below. Be sure to stay tuned for new episodes every week. Thanks for watching.